two incredibly tough acts to follow. It is very intimidating to be on this stage, not only following the two prior speakers and all of the wonderful people here today, but most importantly, to stand in front of all of you. You actually have given me such inspiration over the last 24 hours. It's like a shot of adrenaline, and I cannot wait to come back to any future One Young World. So thank you to both of you. Okay, so David actually opened up by talking about Facebook's mission. For 13 years, when Mark started Facebook, he was 21 years old in a college dorm, right before his sophomore year. And this was his mission when he first started Facebook. And it was the mission that guided the company for the last 13 and a half years. He deeply believed that by connecting people and giving people the power of voice, that the world would actually be able to solve problems, be more empathetic, understand different points of view. However, what we have seen in the last year is the world has actually not necessarily come together the way we had envisioned. We see the rise of nationalism, of isolationism. We see countries wanting to pull apart and just worry about their own. And we took a deep dive at Facebook and said, well, what does that mean? Because our mission had guided us for 13 years, and there were still a lot more people to connect. And so Mark actually spent some time over the holidays and wrote a letter. It was a 6,000-word letter. I'm not sure if anybody had a chance to read it. And it was about actually how to inform communities and how to build communities that were safe, supportive, inclusive, civically engaged, and informed. And he deeply believed that you had to have that community element in order to make the world not only more open and connected, but to bring people together. And so we launched a new mission. And the new mission was to bring the world closer together. Because it wasn't just enough to connect billions of people, but actually we needed to find a way to bring people together for the greater good. And what Mark believes is if you think about the problems that have been talked about on this stage over the last 24 hours, be it poverty, climate change, immigration policies, unemployment, disease, he truly believes that the world has to work closely together and not apart. We now are at a place where with great power comes great responsibility. David mentioned we've connected 2 billion people on Facebook, 1.3 billion on WhatsApp and Messenger, and 800 million people globally on Instagram. It's the first company that has 3 platforms that have connected over 1 billion. But that's not enough, because when people give us the privilege of their time, we need to give more than we take. And so Facebook has been doing a lot to understand what role can it play in making the world a better place. I'm going to talk about 3 pillars today: connectivity, crisis response, and charitable giving. These are 3 areas for the last few years that we've invested a significant amount of resources in to try to make improvements with how people live, how people respond to crisis, and how people can help each other. So let's start with connectivity. Connectivity for all of us right now who likely have a phone, maybe in our hands, maybe you're on it right now, or maybe it's in your pocket. And that phone is likely 100,000 times more powerful than the computer that was used to send the first person to the moon. And we have access to that. But there are a lot of people that do not have access. There are 4 billion people without internet access today. And we believe those people are falling further behind economically, from an education point of view, from access to health care, even basic things that we may take for granted, which is to look up the weather. To a farmer in Kenya, the weather may mean the difference of having a successful crop season and feeding his community or not. And yet 4 billion people do not have access to the internet. There is not one single approach that's going to solve this. There's awareness issues. If you've never been on the internet, you don't even know what it is. There are cost issues. When people are living on less than $1 a day and they're deciding between feeding their family or getting internet and data service, you know what they're going to choose. And so at Facebook, we're pursuing a number of strategies to try to bring internet connectivity to the billions of people that don't have it. Everything from an unmanned aircraft vehicle named Aquila, which will power connectivity down to the earth, to satellites, to free Wi-Fi, to offering free basics in partnership with the local telcos. There will not be one solution. This will be an ongoing effort that will take years, if not decades, but we are deeply committed to ensuring that every human being has access to the internet. We believe it's a fundamental, basic human right, just as much as access is to basic food and shelter. As we think about our work in 64 countries, where we've now connected about 25 million people as a result of these efforts, we know we have a long way to go. And again, it's not just going to be Facebook. There's Google, there's telco operators, there's a lot of companies that are focused on this challenge. Live right now in India, Indonesia, Nigeria, Tanzania, and Kenya are free Wi-Fi experiments to try to give the local citizens access to free Wi-Fi so that they may not have it in their own home, but they can get it in a public place. Now, once you have access, amazing things can happen. And so let me talk about our second pillar, the crisis response. This started actually back in 2011. When the tsunami hit Japan, some of our engineers realized that people were desperate to find their friends and family. They quickly hacked together a message board on Facebook, and that idea became the genesis of what led to Safety Check, and then most recently what we announced a few weeks ago, the Crisis Response Center. This now is giving people the power all over the world to activate Safety Check should a natural disaster or a terrorist attack or some large-scale event where there could be a loss of life. It used to be that we activated it at Facebook, and we only thought it was going to be used for natural disasters until the Paris terrorist attack happened. And we had people desperately reaching out and saying, please, Facebook, activate Safety Check. We cannot find our family and friends. And that led us to believe that we needed to put these tools in the power in the hands of citizens globally. It's been activated dozens of times. Most recently, if you look at what happened in Mexico City, this was when our full crisis response center really went into effect. We had 10,000 postings, people asking for help, people offering for help. Like the middle picture behind me of Walter, who worked for a parish and posted in the Crisis Response Center that donations were coming in, but he needed help to organize them, and people flooded to the parish to help. Or Thelma, who offered her home and said she could provide food and shelter for 4 people. These are the new tools that are really being given to each and every one of us around the world who has connectivity so that we may help each other in ways that are local, on the ground, and incredibly responsive to the needs. Sometimes you may not be in an area where a disaster has occurred, but you want to desperately help. We've also been looking at how charitable giving, how do people decide where to donate, and how do we make that with less friction? And so we have launched charitable giving. It actually started back in Nepal when the earthquake happened in 2015, and we raised $15 million very, very quickly. And we realized that Facebook, that if you actually give people the power to donate right on the spot for a particular cause, you could raise a lot of money given that fact that we have 2 billion people on our platform. Today, there are literally thousands of people raising money on Facebook, from large nonprofits to individuals that care about a particular cause. The region here and in North America was hit by 3 very, very destructive hurricanes, actually the largest that have ever been recorded in the Atlantic Ocean. We saw organizations like Convoy of Hope put out a Facebook Live concert and raised $230,000 within hours to be on the ground and helping people in Texas. On the right, you're seeing a Walmart advertisement. One of the best parts of my job is when I get to see companies who are clearly purpose-driven call me and say, "We want to help. Please tell us the best way we can engage." Walmart made that call within a few hours of the first hurricane hitting. We pulled this together, our team, and launched it, and Walmart said they would donate $1 for every dollar that was donated by their customers. They would do a 2x match. Within 12 hours, we had raised over $25 million for Hurricane Harvey. That is the kind of public and private partnership that we think is so incredibly valuable, and the scale of these platforms really allow us to operate. As we think about going forward, it's not just the tools that we've built. It's not just the platforms that we offer around connectivity, crisis response, and charitable giving. Each and every one of you may have a venture, a social entrepreneur idea, or even a business that is focused on doing good. I'd like to share one of my favorite examples from Justice and Peace in India, who was trying to raise awareness about human trafficking and how important the first 24 hours are after a girl is kidnapped. Let's watch the video.
Every 8 minutes, a girl goes missing in India, drugged, traumatized, and brutally forced into sexual slavery. Justice and Care is an NGO that works to locate, rescue, and rehabilitate these girls. In an abduction, the first 24 hours are critical before leads go cold and girls disappear without a trace into the brothels and the trafficking network. The ephemeral nature of Instagram stories was used to dramatize this. We showed the journey of a victim counting down in real time over 24 hours. Just like Instagram stories do, the girl had only 24 hours before she disappeared forever. As time passed, the chances of her getting rescued grew slimmer.
प्लीज मेरी हेल्प कर दो मेरे पास ज़्यादा वक्त नहीं है प्लीज
And at the end of 24 hours, she and her Instagram story disappeared forever. A full suite of made-for-mobile ads was served simultaneously in the feed to help people discover the story. People who had engaged with the stories or raised funds were retargeted to show them what a difference they were making. Justice and Care continues to fight against a $150 billion industry. More funds means more girls saved.
एक दीदी और एक भैया आए थे जस्टिन आई एम केयर में बहुत डर गया था तो डरने का नहीं अभी तो हमारे पास है
Please donate before it's too late.
It's a very, very difficult film to watch. I often have to turn away when I look at it. But it is an opportunity for me to share with you that when you utilize the platforms that can reach billions of people to tell your story, raise awareness, and raise funds, you can have a significant impact. And the opportunity for all of you in all of the ventures that you are doing, we want Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Messenger to be platforms that amplify your voice, help you achieve the impossible, and make people empathetic to the various issues that you are facing and are trying to solve. That is why I'm incredibly privileged to stand here today. I have two colleagues that are in the audience, Morgan and Bryson. Where are you guys today? I hope you're here somewhere. You should stand up. Please stand up. Morgan Hewitt and Bryce Anderson. This is the power of the One Young, One World community. They came back from last year in Ottawa. They have been hard at work in partnering with David and Kate and the organization to figure out what could we do. How do we help support the next Mark Zuckerberg idea that's in this room? And so I'm very pleased to announce the Facebook Social Entrepreneurship Award for Young One World members today, which is available to all of you. You need to apply by November 17th. You can go on to the website, oneyoungworld.com, to apply. We're going to pick 4 winners from North America, Latin America, EMEA, and APAC. You will receive advertising credits to boost awareness for your campaigns. You'll receive a marketing toolkit, and most importantly, you'll receive mentorship from people on my team and across Facebook. We couldn't be more proud to support each and every one of you. We wish we could offer all of you the award, because I'm sure everyone in here deserves it. But we are going to pick 4, and we would love nothing else than to have each and every one of you apply, and you will receive $50,000 in ad credits, each of the winners. So we're very excited about the $200,000 in ad credits for the 4 of you. Applications are available, and please make sure you apply. Now, let me close by giving you a little insight. When Mark was asked recently, why did Facebook become the company that connected 2 billion people? Why wasn't it MySpace? Why wasn't it some other company that we may not have even ever heard of? And he had one answer. And the answer is, he believes it was because we cared more. Because we were deeply grounded in our purpose. We understand and understood why we exist. And I share that with all of you because each and every one of you care more about the issue that you are trying to deal with, likely than anyone else around the world. And there are over 7 billion people that are waiting and needing each and every one of you to pursue that dream and to care more than somebody else. And I'm going to close on my favorite quote from Nelson Mandela. It always seems impossible until it's done. And to the person that asked the question in the earlier session around poverty, how do you keep going when you're told no 120 times over and over and over again? I'll tell you how you keep going. You keep going because the world needs you. The world needs you now more than they've ever needed you before. And whether it's our platforms at Facebook or any other partner you choose to work with, know that we're going to be there hand in hand to help you make the change and to be the change that you all want to be. Thank you for giving me this honor, and have a great day.